live stream the webinar. Yes, there we go. We have already live streamed on KP YouTube channel already. So team, you can actually start sharing this to all our communities as well on KP YouTube channel. We are already live. And so I see that it is already there. So very, very happy to actually see all of you who are joining. Webinar. Yes, there we go. We have already live streamed on KP YouTube channel. Yes, there we go. So very happy to actually see each and every one of you joining in for the live in Zoom, and also all of you joining in on our YouTube channel. So very, very happy to actually have here Shyam Kukreja here, an expert in cloud computing. So very happy to have you here, and welcome to the Inspiring Innovators Talk, Shyam.
Thank you so much, Keertan, once again. And it's my pleasure and honor to be here. And it's so lovely to see the community of students. I've been there, but in a closed group like this, I'm really glad to be here. So once again, thank you so much for inviting me and for giving me this experience. So looking forward to this, Keertan. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. And I want to actually start this podcast with a couple of simple questions that will make our audience understand and go into the depths of cloud computing as we start as a step-by-step system. So how many of you here would like to actually have a step-by-step one-on-one of cloud computing? Type it on yes, B, yes in the chat box. If you would like to actually have that step-by-step system, type it on yes, B, yes in the chat box. SBS, step-by-step system. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'd like to actually ask this question to you. Like, for example, before we dive into cloud computing, can you make us understand in a simpler term, right? Like how a non-techie or person who is not at all into this technology understand this cloud computing? Can you go and give us a brief details about this?
All right. Keertan, is it okay if I give you two definitions, one from our as a student perspective and one from the definition of companies? Because only when you add these two, it makes a little more sense to us. Is that
Sure,
okay?
sure. Yes, yes,
Great.
100%.
Great. And again, guys, I'll be asking you a little questions. Okay. So how many of you have never experienced cloud computing? Just type me in the chat or just type NE never experienced. Just a quick question to everyone, each one of you. How many of you have never experienced cloud computing? Just type NE, that is never experienced. Great. Thank you so much for that honest answer. I truly appreciate that. So I'll be asking two more questions. Okay. Next one question, each one of you have registered for this webinar, okay? And each one of you have this email ID. My honest question is, what is the age of your first email ID? For example, if I talk about the first email ID that I created, I think I created my Rediff email ID in 1998. Today in 2024, the age of my first email ID is around 26 years. Can you just type in the age of your email ID? When was your first email ID that you created? Can you just type in the years? What is the age of your first email ID that you ever created? Maybe 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 20 years. What is that? For me, it's 26 years. Can you just type in the chat? Thank you so much. Keetana says 18. Mohan Priya says 2019. So maybe 5 years. Okay. 6 years, 4 years, 2020, 17. Now the answer to each one of your question is, guys, you have been using cloud from these many years. So in a layman terms, anything over cloud, anything over internet is cloud. The reason we call it cloud is because when you draw a diagram, architectural diagram, anything over internet is cloud. But let's understand what is the cloud here as a layman. So do you see when we visited internet, right now, even if your computer crashes, the thing is you lose nothing. Two things what you need is first is internet, and second is if at all you have email, that can be a Gmail box, that can be ready whatsoever. The fact that you have internet and the credentials, you can get access to your email. No matter, even if your laptop is crashed, even if your device system, hard disk, whatever is crashed, you see anything over internet is cloud. That is a simple definition, which means if each one of you have been using cloud. Now the real question comes in, Shyam, how is this Amazon, Azure, and GCP that we hear of? And again, there are many more, Alibaba and Hawaii. But the next real question is, Shyam, how is this cloud? You're talking about Rediff Mail, but how is this Amazon Azure that we hear about is different than this one? So let's get into that detail a little. So yesterday with email, all you could do is just send an communication. So earlier, apart from telephone, there was no mode of communication, a little of text, but that was available only with mobile and pagers before we got into mobile. But there was no reasonable mode of communication. That's when, Hotmail, Rediff Mail was invented. And the thing is, we entered the arena of communication, digital communication, and that was happening over cloud. But do you see, if I talk about Gmail, the thing is you can only use it for email, and then we got opportunities like audio chat, video chat, and maybe sharing photos. So that is what you can do, but you're still again limited to those features. You cannot go out of that. But if you talk about IT, information technology, companies have got more to do. Applications, creating applications, building applications. Now imagine, just like you have your laptop. Okay. So 20, 25 years back in my generation, Kirtan, if you remember, we had only two options if you want to go for a desktop. That was not an arena of laptop, that was a generation of a desktop. You had two options, either to go with a company laptops, company desktops like HCL, Dell, and those things which were very costly. And the second option was uh, assembling. Like you would give your requirements of the hard disk, the RAM, and the CPU processor to someone in the market who is good at assembling. That person will assemble and give you the desktop. So today, you see the applications that we have been using, like Facebook and WhatsApp and all those things. Now, when you want to create an application like Facebook on those things, the thing was having servers was very difficult. But what if you can create a machine on cloud? Isn't that a fancy idea? So the thing is, if you are good at creating applications, why to hire and buy a laptop or why to buy a server? Because even a laptop or server is so costly. Imagine, just like you were checking that email in 1980s, 2020s, what is that you paid to that email cyber cafe person? You paid 15 to 20 rupees. That's for per hour. Okay, which means pay as you drink. Imagine if you can create a machine, a laptop, or a server on cloud. And the thing is, you can try and test your application within a matter of hours. No need to pay huge chunk of money in lakhs. The thing is, all you would be paying the same 15, 20 rupees per hour. And the thing is, in next few hours, you have tried and tested something, your own application. If it works, good. Okay. If it doesn't work, you can scrap it. But all you lose is that per hour thing. So in a nutshell, what cloud computing to me is, anything over internet is cloud. But today, rather than just limiting yourself to email and those things, you can create applications on cloud. And that is the power of cloud today. So that is a definition of cloud computing in a layman terms for students. So I'm sorry I went a little long, but to make it a layman. But now, Keithan, I would also like to talk about what does cloud means to companies. Is that okay if I explain that in a little? So the problem with the companies is, Keithan, the thing is, companies, have data centers, huge data centers. Why? Because you cannot sustain with one server. Imagine there are billions of users who are browsing Facebook right at this moment of time, even when I'm talking to you. So if there are billions of users browsing Facebook at this moment, there would be hundreds and thousands of servers serving those requests. How would company manage those servers? So the idea was to create, a data center. So in huge data center, now imagine the time, money, energy, and cost. The company had to create a data center. So huge in terms of investment, huge investment in terms of money, like in terms of land, then again construction, and then actually starts the real cost of procuring those servers, hiring the admins, network admins, storage admins, database admin, and getting things. And now you are doing the real stuff. That means something you are good at, creating applications. So much of investment. And imagine something like happened, something that happened in 2002, an earthquake in Kutch, Gujarat, at a Richter scale of 7.2 close. If something of that sort happen, huge investment made in in that is perished in matter of few minutes. Or something that happens, something in on 7/11, twin towers collapsed with a terrorist activity. Both towers collapsed in matter of few hours. So even after you have put so much time, energy, and effort, that data center can come down within a matter of hours and minutes. So that was a real question to all those companies, that even if you put so much time, energy, and effort, what is that you can do? That's where Amazon created a solution where you can create one data center instead of one. You cannot rely on one. It can come down any moment of time. Why not? So Amazon is good at infrastructure. Why not you? I create Amazon, like Amazon said, why I'll create that infrastructure for you across the globe. You are good at applications, you create applications, I will be providing you the infrastructure. And that is the power of cloud. That is why you can create applications not only in India today. In a matter of few minutes, you'll be able to create application and a server in US, in any part of the globe. That is the definition in terms of companies. So in terms of companies, they don't have to invest, make huge investment in terms of data centers and hiring those members, construction, huge cost, but still they can create a applications, something that they're good at on cloud. So that is the true value of cloud to the students and to the companies. So thank you so much for that question. And I hope that answers your question, Keertan.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Shyam, for giving that a really amazing experience and explanation, both, right? Because one of the very important things that people have as a question is that, like, what is cloud computing? Anything technology, right? Our
Right.
mind will be closed, right? And
Right.
I'm also like that. Anything related to technology, I keep my mind closed. But when I'm meeting mentors who have already been there, done that in that industry, I try to perceive that as much as I can. Like, for example,
Right.
from your experience, what you shared for the students, right? Or even for the company, what I actually just got as an example, like where did I use cloud computing in my life, right? I
Right.
remember this HD
Hard
card,
disk.
like we have
Right.
hard disk,
Hard
right?
disk. Right.
And I had a pain stories related to hard disk as well as my computer getting crashed. Suddenly,
Right.
when this goes crash, we do not know that so much of data we have actually stored for our learnings, for our
Correct.
data documentation, and all of that. And now, what
Right.
if this is there in the form of a cloud, right? Where it is
Correct.
actually on the internet, and we do not need to actually utilize that. Like, how many of you agree that is a life-saving technology? Type it down, LST, in the chat box if you agree digital mode to save everything in the form of cloud. Is that correct? Am I right? Is this the same
That's
technology that
correct.
you are using?
That's correct. The only difference is now this hard disk is accessible only to you. So you are on private cloud. The better
Correct.
definition is you are on private cloud that's accessible only to you. And this is public cloud. So there are two flavors, public cloud, private cloud. And if you are using both in combination, you are on hybrid. So you got it.
Awesome. Thank you. Because when I actually say, okay, when I'm using Mac, I use iCloud, right? When
Right.
I'm using Google Drives and all of that, I
G
use
Drive
Google
is
Cloud.
nothing but a cloud. Yeah.
Got it, got it, got it. So basically, we are using cloud computing. Is it for storage only, or is there any computation behind that? So I just want to ask this question on this. Like, what is cloud computing means? Is it a storage part, or is there any computational things behind that?
So I think storage is what it started with minimum. Like like when I said I give you an example of Gmail because Gmail was the first one to give you a storage thing like the Google Drive. Now Google Drive, there are other options in Amazon and also in Azure, but G Drive, Google Drive, what is a part of it. The similar service in Amazon, there's a similar service, and that is way powerful because Amazon has explored it to the fullest. And the thing is, uh, it started with storage, but today it's not limited to storage. If I talk about the services, like, storage is one service. In storage, there are like, services called simple storage service. That is one part of it. Now, there are 400 plus services in
Wow,
Amazon. Okay.
wow,
And the best thing is every year, Amazon releases new services, 3 to 5 new services every year, plus hundreds of new features they add to the existing services. That's how fast they innovate. So it started with the storage, Keaton, to answer your question, but it's not limited to storage. It's limited. It's exploring beyond. And cloud is a platform. On top of that cloud, today there are many other services like AI, ML that you are hearing of. So all these companies are also not only fighting on the cloud, basic cloud stuff, but on the new technology, the AI, ML that is coming in. They are coming up with a real innovative solutions.
got
So
it, got
there
it,
are many applications, but even serverless application where without running even a machine you would have something, a code would trigger only when you ask for it.
got it,
Okay. So it's not limited to storage. Storage is what it started, but applications, databases, you name it and you have it. So
got it.
400 plus services on Amazon.
Wow, that is mind blowing for me. Like, how many of you were actually mind blown? MB in the chat box. If you see that just from the cloud computing as a technology, 400 services can be given out. Type it on MB in the chat box. That is a mind blowing thing. Like, I was this thinking service, storage as a thing, as in cloud computing. You said applications, right? Or
Right.
AIML, which means now my mind started telling me what is the simplification of that. Maybe it's like a cake, a regular cake, then you make pastries out of it, or you can actually make a creamed out of it, or you actually make a doll out of it. You can do a number of things, right? So that is the power a technology can give. That is really, really amazing, Sham.
But again, having said that, Kirtan, I don't want to overwhelm people out here. I want my purpose is to make cloud simple. So, guys, though I say 400 plus, let me be very honest. No, even Amazon Cloud person can claim that he or she is mastered all those 400. So, my recommendation to each one of you, even if you learn basic 25 to 35 different services, and even if you master basic 3 to 5 services, trust me, you can create a career out of it. So I'm here
Wow.
to simplify cloud, but the 400 was to give you an idea that there is these horizons are exploring, and exploding, I could say. But even if you master basic 25 to 35 different services, you can create a career out of it. So not to overwhelm you guys here, but yeah, that's the power of cloud.
Thank you for making that simple. and also taking that burden out. Now, 400 is amazing. That is mind blowing. But we can actually start with 4 or 5 and build a career out of it. That is brilliant. That is wow, right? Just with 5 services that I can actually master in a technology, and if I can give that as a service and build a career out of it, that is brilliant. Awesome. So here we go
Right.
with a second question with you right now, Sham. Is that like how is your fascination towards cloud computing technology started, and why cloud computing right now? That what you have been coaching
Okay.
like thousands of people in the
Okay.
country and making them as cloud champions. So what is that drive for you? Why you are actually on this particular level? Over to you.
Okay, so I'll take that as two questions. First is, how is I started my journey on cloud, and second is maybe when you're talking about drive, maybe you're talking about the mission statement, what brought me here.
Got it.
So that I'll answer with the first one. So actually, I started my career back in 2008. This was a core recession period that I think you and my generation has seen. But you know what? So the thing is, for some reason, so actually I got as an opportunity to work in a BPO, Infosys BPO. Unfortunately, my family did not allow it because they did not like that concept of BPO. In fact, it was 22nd or 25th day of my work with Infosys BPO, but I had to quit that job without even giving a resignation. I dropped a formal resignation to the team, but I was not even able to take my first salary. So I bumped into then taking some technical curriculums. It was a technical curriculum with CMC. So that's where I hit the first black window of my life, and that was Linux. So I hit there by chance, but I stayed there by choice. So I learned Linux. I loved that black window, and that's where I bumped into my first opportunity with CMC, where I was placed in Navi Mumbai, Reliance. So I started. I used to work at Sriram Valley Mills. And the thing is now, and so this was 2008 January when I got placed over there. 2000 till 2010, I worked there and I stayed there by choice because I was getting many other offers, but I wanted to master this Linux window. Okay, and then I could see some articles on cloud. In fact, Amazon then had a major outage, which was around 7 to 8 hours, which is a huge in IT. So I could hear some news around it. I explored that, and then suddenly in 2010, when I was working with, it was after 2.5 years of my journey, I was working with Patni. It was a support job, and the thing is, we are into night shift. We are close to December when it's a freeze period. So there is no more major development happening. And the thing is, I was given an opportunity to make a presentation. I wanted to explore cloud. And for some reason, I didn't know anything about cloud, but I nominated myself for this topic of cloud. The idea was if I want to explain it to you, then the first thing is I'll have to explore it myself. So I just nominated myself and then I started researching where does my company stands in cloud. And I could see that there is so much of things happening in the cloud. In fact, there was this Eucalyptus, which was open source free cloud then available. So I could see a company doing in that area and what is the power of cloud, and that fascinated me. So that's where my journey started. I started learning few more things, but it was all theoretical. So I was looking for opportunity, and then in 2012, so I was by this time I was already Red Hat certified. It's a basic certificate in RHC, then Red Hat certified engineer, and now the basic of. And then we didn't have the certification like this, what you see today, the Amazon certifications. So
Correct.
the basic of cloud was virtualization. So I just thought of, why am I not certifying myself to the next level? So I started going for the next Red Hat certified thing. And I learned the power of real virtualization and the cloud thing over there. So in 2014 is finally when I started appearing for interviews. Fortunately, I was able to convince one person who was a US director. And I was able to convince him that, okay, I don't have experience. I was very transparent that I don't have experience, but this is what I know about cloud. But even if given an opportunity, I could serve that. 2014 December, that was my first opportunity over cloud. And the thing is, we started with one person, like that was I was the first CloudOps member in India for this company. One member team, one project, and the developers were there are 20 to 30 developers to be supported in India. So that's how my journey started on cloud. But how did I end up on this mission? Now the real story starts. So I started working in this company. Within 60 to 90 days, I was able to deliver what I was expected. But now, when I'm into that mode that, okay, why not we scale up from one member team to 3 to 5 and from one product to 3 to 5 products? I went up to my director and said him, so we end up hiring my own manager in India. And together with that manager, we built a team of 1 to 15 members. We scaled from one member to into 15 members team. We scaled up from products from one product supporting one products to 9 different products within a matter of 2.5 years.
Wow.
So 2.5 years, 9 sorry, 9 products. And the thing is, that happened so rapidly. In that moment, I was not only I was training to students because finding cloud resource then was no less than a nightmare. So we were hiring 2 years and 3 years of candidate IT experienced candidate. I was training them. I was in helping them with the KT, all that stuff. But you know what? After so much of stuff, I was really looking for an on-site opportunity. Finally, after 2.5 years of working with this company, there is an opportunity, and there was a you can say on-site counterpart was happy to have me. There was a position, and I have a final management meeting with the management on Monday 11 a.m. But on a weekend like this, on a Saturday and Sunday like this, I was cherishing all this journey, all the hardship that all those team had taken. I took, to build that team and with that manager, with those directors, and I was really looking forward to this meeting. Monday starts, clock strikes 11. I'm into that meeting, but the thing is, the meeting didn't last very long because it started with a note that Shyam, this is not a right time for you to travel, which means the management agreed that I met all their benchmarks, but the thing is, it was not right time for me to travel. Trust me, that day when I stepped out of that room, I felt this is not just my story. I felt this is story of every person, IT person, who's denied their next opportunity, next promotion, next appraisal, or maybe next project change. Next few weeks, I was blaming my manager, I was blaming my director, but I realized that I'm playing a victim game. This is not me. I realized, this is not Shyam. Okay. So to take charge of myself, I started, and this was fast forward to October 2019. I started training in one of the top 5 institutes here in Pune. October 29 to March 2022, 6 months before just we broke for COVID, I started training people on cloud. And the thing is, with institutes, I realized the main problem is people train you, companies train you, and they leave you there, which means it's more of a game of TTT, train, train, train. And I did not connect with that. 24 students trained in 6 months, two people going for certification, one cracks it, one doesn't. And the rest 22 didn't go for the next opportunity, neither they went for the next certification. I invited them on a one-to-one call to understand what is blocking them. And to my surprise, I realized these were the students who needed a little more hand-holding on Shyam, how to get certified, what dumps should we go through, how to understand those concepts, how to crack those dumps, how to register yourself or enroll yourself for the exam, and how to crack it. These are the things that people needed for certification. Let's talk about job. The default way, how many of you agree? The default way we look for job is you create a resume and then you upload on the job portals like Monster, Naukri, and so on, and then you wait for a perfect call. How many of you agree on that? Just type A for agree. How many of you agree? This is the default way that we look for job. Now, trust me, if this is the way we are looking, that's not the right way to look for job, because that way you'll end up getting few calls in the first few weeks, and then on a 5:30 p.m. like this, you'll be talking about the recession. That's when I realized these students needed a little more hand-holding on how to create a 3-second winning resume. I call it a 3-second winning resume. Next is how to overcome interview fears, how to prepare for a job, how to actually master this technology, because most of us want to learn a little at a surface level, and then you want to crack interviews and you want to end up getting job. I am talking about mastery. I'm talking about creating a solution. That's when I realized, and I created my own model, which I call as a C3 model. And that brings me on a mission on helping 100,000 people become an independent cloud champion. Now, when I say independent, I connect. Now, here is where I'll connect both the stories. So in the first half of my story, you would see I was dependent, or I was on mercy of my manager or my director for that promotion or for those things. I really don't want you guys to be at mercy of your managers or your company. And that is only possible only when you upskill yourself the right way, only when you master the technology. And when I say mastery, not for getting good job, good hike. The mastery is for you to solve a challenge out in the market. When you are able to give a solution to the market, trust me, you will have that. As a result, you'll have that hike, that good job, good promotion. So that is what brings me here, Keaton. So
Awesome.
I'm sorry
Awesome.
I went a little long, but that is the whole story. Since I said, I broke that into two questions. That's how my journey started on cloud, and this brings me on a mission statement to help 100,000 people becoming an independent champion. And I feel glad to share the community is 284 members today and growing rapidly. Keaton,
Awesome.
over to
Awesome.
you.
Thank you, Sham, on sharing that inspiring journey. So, because one of the very important things that what I realized in your journey or story is that you were working from 2008 in your career journey and building all of that forward, but there were certain pains that were coming. and you
Right.
turn that mess into a message right now, where you do not
Yeah.
want others to be having 5, 10, 15 years of experience in a company, and then you have to actually see that email or see that message saying that no, you are not getting this opportunity, right? And you
Right.
wanted to create the independent cloud computing champion. How many of you want to actually become independent
Right.
cloud champion, so that tomorrow you can go and be ready to solve any problems in any company? Type it down, ICC, in the chat box. ICC stands for independent cloud champion, right? Type it on ICC in the chat box. Awesome, 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 awesome. Right?
Thank
And
you
that
so
is
much.
the possibility. Wow, wow, wow. Fantastic. I can see a lot of you typing down ICC, which means that there is a story or the pain that he has already gone through that he do not want it for others. And that's a great mission, Shyam. I really appreciate. And that is what I actually connected with you when I actually met you. You said that you shared this story with me, and I felt, yes, this is exactly what we are creating in CI as well, where we really want to actually help people become independent with multiple career opportunities, not just one job, two job, three job. I will tell you some of the stories that what I have heard from students, that they depend on college placement and they are at the mercy of college placement, saying that I have to get a job here, otherwise I do not get a job. Or
Right.
mercy of what we can say, like bonds, like 2 years bonds, 3 years bonds in a company, and they're stuck and they cannot move out and there is no growth, right? I
Right.
really want to actually make people independent, and where they're independent to have multiple streams of income, create multiple possibilities, get a multiple job offer. So type it on MJO in the chat box if you'd like to add cloud computing also as a skill, so that you can actually have a job option open even in cloud computing. MJO stands for multiple job offers. Type it on MJO, multiple job offers opening in this area. Fantastic, fantastic, awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Keertan. Guys, I would like to pause one thing here. So, guys, we met Keith. I know Keertan and we met in Chennai, and Keertan. The thing is, we connected with those stories, but something that even I could see what we resonated at. We resonated at our mission and crafting the solution for students out here. So, something that I would like to tell this community, guys, that you have got a great mentor, and the thing is, the intention is what matters. He has a very great intention for you guys to help you to overcome on those blockers. And what I could tell you is we met or we resonated at the intentions. So I would like you to thank and I congratulate you for having a lovely mentor out here. So guys, please type MPTY for Kirtan here, because I think that's the reason we are here. It's not a coincidence. It's the way we are connected here. So there is a reason we are here. So please type MPTY. That's more power for Kirtan. And once again, Kirtan, thank you so much for having me here and also having these students. I can truly resonate on that. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity and accepting the invitation to come and share your 15
My
years
pleasure.
experience and also mentor our students, because I really want to actually have you in our community as our mentor in CI, where people can actually say, yes, from Shyam sir, I actually learned my cloud computing journey. I built my skills with cloud computing with Shyam sir. I became a cloud champion, sir. I actually got this job opportunity. Because one of the very, very important things that I always tell my students is that I give an analogy of skills with gods, right? Like if you see any temple, right, in Indian temples, if you go to any temples, you will see gods with multiple hands, with multiple tools. So you having multiple skills is like that, where you have lot of power, not to destroy other people, not to actually say I am superhero, no, to empower people. Like what God is doing is empowering people. So how can you actually have multiple skills in such a way that you have that power, you hold that power to empower people, right, to support people and create that possibility? Because most of the time what I see with people having 2 years, 3 years experience also, they feel stuck, they feel disempowered in an organization, that their voice is not heard or nobody is respecting, nobody is talking about them and all of that. And this is what we want to actually create for all of you guys. So, and thank you, Sham, for actually sharing this all perspectives on this. I have a last question to actually ask. Right
Yes,
now
please.
people are understanding what is cloud computing, so they understand you. Now the question is about how they can actually build a career. What are the career opportunities? So what are the scopes? Can you give out some student stories and success stories through which people are able to, like, people have this particular objection saying that I'm from BCom, BBM, I'm MBA. Is it also relevant for me? Or I'm from BTech, right? Various different backgrounds. So how that will be a relevancy if I'm taking this as a skill in my journey? Yeah. Over to you.
Thank you so much for that lovely question, Keaton. And I can so resonate with that, because sometimes when you are working with students, you are impacting, even you do not realize how we are impacting them unless that student comes out as a success story. So before I go on explain that success story, a quick question, honest question to each one of you is, how many of you are coming here from non-IT background? Just type NI in the chat. How many of you from non-IT background? And I'll be asking a series of questions before I get into that. Just type NI if you're coming from a non-IT background. Thank you so much, Hari, Viju, Mona, Priya, Maitri, Jayashree, Manali, Sneha. Truly appreciate that. Okay. So how many of you agree that we have this mindset that, okay, if I'm coming from non-IT background, how many of you agree we have this mindset or mind blockers that will I be able to learn something technical? For example, let's say cloud, because we are talking about cloud here. Will I be able to learn cloud? Forget about learning cloud. Even if I learn, will I get a job? Even if I get a job, will I get a good salary? Will I be able to create my career? How many of you think we have these questions? Please type me with a lot of ease in the chat. How many of you think we have this question? Thank you so much, Mohana Priya. Truly appreciate that honest answer. Thank you so much, Manali, Aryan. Okay, now here is the answer with again few questions. Honest question, guys. What are the chances? So imagine there's a person who's coming from non-IT background, and this person coming from non-IT backgrounds wants a job in IT. What are the chances? I just want you to put a random number. I'm not here to label you. I'm not here to gauge you. From 0 to 100%, what do you think are the chances of this person, of a non-IT person getting a job in IT? And I want you to be very realistic, which means how many cases do you know of a non-IT person getting a job in IT? I'll be asking you 4 questions. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Can you just type in numbers? I'm not here to label you. I'm not here to judge you. Thank you so much. Ravinatullah says 50%. Hari says 60. Mona Priya says 80. Nikitan Raj says 60. Thank you so much. Second question. What are the chances of this person, non-IT person getting a job into cloud? So now this non-IT person wants a job in cloud. What are the chances? So in IT, you said 60. Now I'm being very specific of this person getting a job in cloud. Sneha says 90. Okay, thank you so much, Sneha. And I hope you know at least one person who has got a cloud platform from non-IT when you say 90, right? Manali says 20. Viju says 70. Thank you so much. 2 more questions, like I said in the list. The third question is, now this non-IT person coming from a non-IT background, imagine this person does not know English. So my honest third question is, if a person coming from a non-IT background doesn't know English, what are his chances to get a job in IT? Please type in the number. And again, let's be very, very realistic, because when you are typing in, ask yourself, at least you know one such case. Okay. Thank you so much. Hari says 10%. Veju says 10%. Sai says 10%. Mohana says 20. Manali says 10. Nikita is 20. Last question, fourth question. What are the chances of this non-IT person who doesn't know English wants a cloud platform? Let's be very honest. What are the chances? And again, my honest request, when you say 100%, 20%, ask yourself, do you know any such case? Yes or no? What are the chances of this person who doesn't know English, coming from a non-IT background, wants to get a job directly into cloud? Let's be very realistic. What are the chances? Numbers first, before I go into success story. Thank you so much, Hari, for saying 0%. I truly appreciate that honest answer. Manali says 10%. And with that, Manali, I would assume that at least you know one such case. Sneha says 1%. Nikitan Raj says 5%. So now here is an answer. So each one of you that you said, 2 people saying 0%. Thank you so much, Hari, Sai. Manali says 10, 1, 5, 0. Now if we talk about a success story where this 5%, this 1% or 0% is shifted to 100%, which means a person who is coming from non-IT background, doesn't know English, but is working on cloud today. How many of you are ready to hear that success story? I'll make it quick. Just type me in the chat. And the reason I'm talking about this story is not to, just answer the question that you can learn. I want to support the answer with a success story, because I want to make you believe that even though if you're coming from a non-technical background, technical background, even though you might have 2 years, 12 years, or 20 years of experience in your own field, even if you want to start your cloud journey today, you have a scope. The only thing is you should work on mastering one thing, cloud. So here the success story coming of a person of a non-IT background, Rehan, and you can go back and watch this success story, which is openly published on my YouTube channel called Cloud Champions Club. Now, the thing is, interesting question, Kirtan, would be, why did company hire him? So fortunately, guys, I got a chance to talk to his CEO. So Rehan is a person who joined me in the workshop, and he wanted to learn cloud. And ideally, the thing says, we make those mistakes by, sometimes you choose those careers, non-IT, by just because your friend chose that, or maybe your parents asked you to, or maybe you were not serious about studies. You made that decision of taking a BCom as your career, but now you cannot go back and redo those things. That's when Rehan hit us, and Rehan joined me in a workshop, and Rehan wanted to learn cloud. And this is what we worked with him. So we asked him to master cloud. And once he was done with the mastery, the success story, Keaton, it came out later, the late different way. When we started working with him, looking for job. Okay, he cracked the company, and this was Bangalore company. And for some reason, I got a chance to talk to the CEO, and I'm talking to that CEO, and the CEO says that Shyam, uh, first of all, when we received a resume from BCom person, we were surprised how a BCom fresher could apply for this job. But again, you cannot stop from applying to someone, right? And she said something which actually meant that we thought this person would be chucked out in an interview. So imagine some person, non-IT person, applying for the job, and you think, okay, he'll be chucked out in level of interviews. But as the conversation goes, the CEO goes on to tell me, so this was a second wave of COVID, close to April 2022. And the CEO goes on to tell me that, Shyam, in those time, the interviews were held on Zoom, recorded. And here's that CEO tells me that, Shyam, the moment when we interviewed this person, the kind of feedback that I got to know from this person, from my technical team, I went down to watch that complete 1 hour of recording. The CEO is telling me. So this is a mentorship model where we help you, we work with you to craft the champion. But my honest question to you is, why is that a Bangalore CEO person of the Bangalore company was able to put aside the degree of this person, which was coming from, and this person is coming from non-technical degree. Second, if you watch that Hall of Fame, the reason I'm so confidently telling of that Hall of Fame is because you can watch all Hall of Fames are in English, but only for this one, which is in Hindi. And I'm so proud of it. The thing is, this person, the company was not only able to sideline his degree, company was also able to sideline his language barrier. Why? Because he was good at one thing, and that was cloud, Keaton. So my, honest thing to you is, first, two things are needed. First, believe I can do this. If you really want to do this, that's the first thing, belief system. So the reason we release those Hall of Fame is not only to talk about success, but to show you that if this person can do it, you can do it too. So to make you believe, that's the first thing. And the second thing is commitment. I really don't want, how many of you agree, we are looking for a job, we are learning for, we are trying to learn AI, ML on all those buzzwords because, companies are asking for it, or these are the technologies in demand. How many of you agree on that? We are looking for all these things because everyone wants good job, good salary, good hike. How many of you agree on that? Please type me in the chat. Which means how many of you agree? One of the reasons why you want to learn cloud or AI, ML on those data science is because maybe companies are asking for it. It is in demand. It is in buzz. Maybe, Pallavi or Suraksha is learning. So you have this FOMO, fear of missing out. Why should I be left behind? How many of you agree? These are the top few reasons. Good job, good salary, good promotion. Thank you so much for all those lovely people typing me in the chat, because trust me, this is an honest answer. I truly appreciate all those people typing me in the chat. But the thing is, guys, these are the surface level of reason. I want to give you a deeper level of reason why you should learn cloud or any technology in that state. How many of you know that the COVID application that you used during the COVID to register yourself for the COVID vaccination twice, we had two doses of those vaccination. How many of you did not know that that COVID vaccination is hosted on Amazon Cloud? If you did not know, just type DNK in the chat. How many of you did not know? Just type DNK if you did not know that the COVID vaccination or the COVID application where you registered yourself for the vaccination and you got vaccinated, by the way, that application was hosted on Amazon Cloud. Netflix, you might have heard this one. This is a commonly given example. Netflix, Amazon Prime. I don't know of Amazon Prime, but Netflix, something that each one of you watch every day in, day out, or at least on your weekend, is hosted on Amazon Cloud. DigiLocker, how many of you agree that you have been using DigiLocker, the government application? So the point that I'm trying to make here is, do you see technology is being used as a solution? So my honest invite to you is, are you ready to learn a technology with an intention to provide a solution to the market? This is what I call a solution mindset for a solution architect. So the day when you are learning the technology, not for good job, good salary, because those are the reasons that will keep you in the job. But trust me, the day when you will learn the technology to create a solution, you'll no longer do a job. Every day you'll be looking forward to the challenges. What are the challenges that your manager, your company, your client is facing? And every day you'll be busy in solving those challenges. And that is the day when you'll never work, you'll never do a job. So Kirtan, that was a success story coming from a cloud champion. And I would say that was the first level of impact. The second law of impact, my students, where we talk about the hike, typical hike of 5 to 8%, and with this current condition, if you, even if you get 10%, 12% of hike, that is assumed to be very good. Talk about mechanical industry, 15 and 20%. But the second level of impact, my students, I got to know a few cases where they got 60% and 70% of appraisal the next year. I'm not talking
Wow.
about the hike on jumping or hopping a job. I'm talking about the appraisal in the same company. Why? Because a company or a manager can have many employees, but they will have only few problem solvers just like you. So don't study any technology and even cloud for that sake. I want you to study the technology to create a champion, also create a solution for company, and that's when you become a champion. So I hope
Awesome.
that answers your question, but that's the reason, Ketan, I believe one should learn cloud.
Awesome, awesome. That's really, really awesome, Sham. So once you actually shared that, it's very, very clear, right? So there are so many employees in every organization, but if you are a problem solver, right, in
Yes.
that organization, and you have a lot of case studies of solving a lot of problems, definitely
Right.
you're going to actually reach to the top management. Everybody type it down PS for problem solving. So that's a very important skill. Whichever the skill you take, right, whether it is AI, ML, cloud computing, communication, or project management, anything. So if you can have this skill of problem solving, right, and ability to build new skills to learn new ways of solving problem, will always reach to the top of the management no matter what. And that's a brilliant case study that what you shared with somebody coming from non-IT background, coming from having English as a barrier, and also not knowing cloud and building it as a forward, right? So that is really awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So
And
two disclaimers
yeah,
here. Sorry, Ketan, to pause you. So two disclaimers that I want to give to audience here. I'm not saying that okay, you don't need to work on your English. So I gave that disclaimer to even Rihan that you have to work on your English. But I feel proud that company was able to guess that mastery in him. That's the first thing. And the second thing that I want to tell you is each one of you that you can learn it. But the idea is I want you to be committed to create a solution. The reason I'm talking about it, and by that I'm not saying you won't see a pink slip. It's not that you'll never be see a lay down. The point that I'm trying to make here, if you have that solution mindset, even if you're shown a blink slip, I can bet you are not a person who can sit even for a 30 days at home. There will be some other company who will see that value in you and they'll pick you up. That's where I'm coming from. I don't want you to be under a case where okay, you don't need to master communication or you won't see a pink slip. It's about being what you are, being a solution provider, and there will be someone else who would connect with you and would pick you up. So yeah.
awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Sham, for sharing all the amazing insights. And thank you for all of you actually joining in for today's session. So we have something more. Like, how many of you agree you want to actually deep dive into the world of cloud computing? Type it on me in the chat box. Those of you watching on Zoom right now here and also on the live on YouTube, type it on me in the chat. You want to actually dive deep and really understand the technology in a deeper level, right? So now you know your mentor from CI. Right now we are introducing Sham as the cloud computing mentor in CI. And I have for all the CI community members, we have some good news to share. And also for all of you who have joined in on YouTube as well as here, we also have something to share with you. The first thing that what we are actually announcing is a joint collaborative masterclass that is actually coming up on this particular Wednesday. So that is 1st of May at 8 p.m. So there will be a beautiful session. And with the help of Sham, so we have actually asked him to make that particular session available for all our CI community members. So how many of you would love to actually have that experience? Type it down I in the chat box if you'd like to actually have that experience, right? Where you really want to actually explore that in a deeper level. Awesome, awesome, awesome. For all of you, my team will be sending you a link, right? So how you can actually become a cloud computing professional in less than 90 days, no matter whatever the level that what you are in, right? How can I actually make that particular things as a possibility? And team has sent the link. It's a session link that what we have made it free for all of you who have actually joined in live and also watching this on recording, because that's a gift from CI community for all of you. So make the best use of this. So once you actually click on the link, you will be actually redirecting to a link from CI Academy and CI Cloud Computing Professional. Click on that, get it, and fill in the form, name, email, and WhatsApp number, and then you will be able to actually add it into the WhatsApp community group. So this is the first gift from our side to make this as a possibility for all of you. So thank you, everyone. Can you all say thank you for Sham sir, so that he is actually giving something really amazing for all of you? Type it on thank you in the chat box. Type it on
Thank
thank
you
you
so
in the
much.
chat box. Thank you so much, Sham, for creating this for all of our community people.
Thank you so much, everyone. Like it's lovely to have you.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
second
So,
thing for all of our CI community members, the second thing that what we have is a deep workshop. After the masterclass, we will be also having a deep workshop. We'll be announcing the date. How many of you would like to actually be a part of a deep workshop in cloud computing? Type it down DW in the chat box. So first go through this masterclass, you will understand that, and all the people who are already paid community members of CI, you will be also having something called as a deep workshop, which means that you roll up our sleeves and start working on Amazon Cloud, creating your account, working on that, making things happen. So it's a deep workshop to actually work on, and no matter whichever the level that what you are in, so you can actually get started. And so I have a lot more announcement to make. I'll be keep making a lot more announcements in the coming days. We are just starting this journey with all of you. I would like to actually make this opportunity used. All our people who are in the bronze membership or above, bronze plus, silver, gold, and diamond, you'll be getting the deep workshop as well. And I have a lot more things to share with you as an announcement as we move forward. For all of you, as you have actually joined here, the gift is shared. Can you actually share the gift link back again, where they need to actually register for the upcoming masterclass team again, and also on the YouTube? Okay, so if you're watching this little later, you will find the link to actually join the Cloud Computing Champion Masterclass in the description, right? So that you can actually go and click on that link and register for that as well. Okay, so that's it from my side. And thank you so much, Shyam, for joining and giving this amazing opportunity. And thank you for accepting the invitation and making it happen for today.
Thank you so much, Keaton. It is my pleasure, honor, and pleasure to come here, show up here, and to see that lovely energy in the lovely community. So, guys, once again, thank you so much for giving me a warm welcome. It was lovely talking to you. I hope I was able to give some value. But again, before I go, I would love each one of you to thank this person here, Keaton, because we are connecting. He is the reason why we are connecting here. So please type once again, please type MPTY for your lovely mentor Keaton out here. And I would look forward to see you in our masterclass. So thank you so much once again, Keaton, for having me here. It's my truly honor and pleasure to be here. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Shyam, for making it happen and giving this support for all of our community.